What's going on, Lady Elegance?
It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
And it's on.
Running to your friends, come on.
Come on, come on.
It's the moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is time. Sinclair's on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You still trouble in your home. Got you tripping, don't know right from wrong. Then you let us in the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you're down to self, lost your health. Faith is on the bend. You believe that Jesus knows your will. Keep it moving, spirit flowing because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling Wednesday, 8 and 9. And it's on.
Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show at night, people. That's right. It's on and popping tonight. Got another hot topic, but first, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to Sinclair Talk at Outlook.com. We're going to continue to address as many as possible each night we're on the air to reach you, because you all are the valued listeners. That's right. Y'all are the valued listeners. And some people might be talking about, well, what does that mean? What that means is there would be no reason for there to be any me if it was no you. That's right. You got to respect the people that help you get to where you at, even if you ain't got nowhere yet. That's right. So anyway, tonight we're going to have a good night. I know it's going to be a Pitchfork City tonight. Because I had some people, when I even posted up what the topic was going to be, was sending me some negative DMs. And I'm just trying to understand, how do people get so upset so fast? We ain't even talked about nothing. This wasn't even male or female. It wasn't even gender related. And I start getting hate mail. Some of y'all act like y'all are like some specialists. Some specialists when it comes to hate. But anyway, I see Cassandra Key done joined in. Man, we ought to get her A+ because she got on early tonight. You know, she's normally a late bloomer, as they say. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, we got an awful lot to chit-chat about tonight. And I just need y'all to take into consideration. Y'all are more than welcome to give me your perspective based on your individual life experiences. You know, so sometimes we just got to have a conversation. And I'm starting to believe that the conversation is working. The conversation works because I'm getting also some positive feedback. And that's a good thing. And y'all, I'm not even gonna laugh and tell y'all. So I be coming up with these little thought processes, and every now and again, you mess around, and somebody that you will be chit-chatting with during the course of your day will come up with such a key saying that you be like, I don't know. Well, I'm not even gonna say y'all be like, I'm gonna tell you how I be. I be telling myself, I'm going to find a way to put that particular saying somewhere in the show. And, and I'm telling you, I got a good one. So I was talking to this seasoned lady. And for y'all that don't know no better, when I say seasoned, that means the person is above the age of 60 to 65. If you're younger than 60, you don't even get credit for it. But this seasoned lady, meaning in this case above 65, to some of y'all, she might be a grandmother. To some of y'all, she might be mama. To some of y'all, she might be the seasoned lady at whatever location. But seasoned people seem to have some 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 little sayings that be tucked away in the back of their mind. And if you have enough conversation with them, they'll sneak and give you a little nugget. And so while having just a basic life conversation with the seasoned lady, she said, and we were talking about spiritual stuff, right? And ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't want y'all stealing this saying because I don't own the rights to it, because I'm giving her credit, so I'm not plagiarizing her little sayings, if you will. But the seasoned lady had the quick wit to say, I have the gift of goodbye. Now I'm gonna tell you why it was so funny. Because when she said it, she was 100% serious. And the conversation was funny because most of y'all know that I'm a counselor, have been for the better part of nearly 20 years. And so you always having these conversations with different people and families or whatever. But just out the blue, she just came up and said, I don't have them types of problems because I got the gift of goodbye. And I was like, what? And she repeated it. And she said, in her life, she has the gift of telling toxic people goodbye and it not even bothering her. So some of y'all need to get the gift of goodbye. I'm just saying. So I said I was going to find a way to sneak it in there. I ain't even had to sneak it. I just came right on out and told y'all that that's where it's coming from. So that's the phrase for the night, is the gift of goodbye. Meaning when there are toxic situations, be it work, personal, whatever, you need to have this type of spirit that gives you the gift of goodbye. Anyway, so if she wind up listening to it tonight, I'm telling you, she gonna probably be laughing. And I'm just gonna laugh for her tonight. And that's another reason why y'all need to be listening to some of these seasoned women, some of these older, and I hate even using that word because some that'll start a fight when you say the older word. That's why I like the word season. Yeah, that right there. Anyway, let me see. First person on tonight was Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard, chiming in for Huntsville, Alabama. Boy, Alabama, old trusty Alabama. Good, sweet home, Alabama. You're right. That's where y'all get all those little negative energies from. We didn't sing Cassandra, what's going on? Then we got Ty done popped up here. You know what? Ty got up here kind of early too. Anyway, before we get on the topic, and the topic of tonight is toxic people, toxic results. That's the topic for tonight, right? But before we get up there, man, what a difference a week makes. I can't leave y'all for a hot 5 minutes without something transparent. Man, y'all done forced Joe Biden to get up out the race. And I just, people. April G. Brown talking about some happy Wednesday. Girl, you ain't been on the show in months. Get an old conversation about toxic people, she'll jump right on. Y'all see what kind of, when you start talking about toxicity, if you will, it'll bring some old negative people to the show. Not saying that April Brown is, but I'm just saying, if you ain't been on the show with all the good ones and we start talking about negativity and you pop on. But we gonna take it like that. But anyway, what in the world did y'all do to Joe Biden? I was gone just a few days from y'all. Joe Biden had one little slip where he couldn't remember where he was at, and he didn't want to look at y'all, and he was acting like maybe he had a migraine. Y'all turned on that man so fast, y'all told that man he got to go. And since y'all done told the man that, I mean, hey, Joe said, I done did all I need to do for y'all anyway. Hold on. Did April say, I had no idea the topic. I missed the Sinclair family. You know what? People always talk about they miss you when they don't be around. Pamela German, glad to see you. Anybody trying to hear that I missed the show stuff. But anyway, but I'm just trying to understand why y'all did old Joe Biden. Joe Biden said he came to y'all in a time when y'all needed him. When Donald Trump was all y'all had, he said he came through for y'all. And then y'all turned on him when he had one little sleepy operation going on. Uh-oh. Lady Elegant said, oh, Joe giving the address right now. I can tell y'all what he's saying. Well, I can tell y'all what Joe would be saying if he was a minority. He'd be saying, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't playing with y'all no more. Y'all turned on me. Y'all was sending me mail talking about get up off that. Don't run, Joe. Joe said I couldn't run no way. But I just feel some kind of way. And I'm going to tell you why I feel some kind of way. Not because Joe got out the race. I can respect the man for saying he don't want to sit around here and be working for y'all if y'all don't want him. Hey, Joe, you're right. Somebody don't want you, don't stick around. But here's where I'm a little concerned, public. If Joe don't believe he got the ability to run again, we still got about 5 or 6 more months of him in the White House. Joe might do anything right now. Y'all done already said he don't remember nothing, so Joe might be up in there just acting the absolute fool. If I was him, I would. I ain't even gonna lie. If I was the president and y'all told me y'all ain't want me to be the president no more, don't run again and all that, I'd be up in there. I'd be making up crazy rules. Especially since the Supreme Court seems to be saying that if you the president, you can do whatever you want while you in office. I'd be in there doing absolutely everything. I'd be mandating that y'all eat like chocolate before you go to bed, just all kind of crazy stuff, just because. So now is the time, since y'all done told that man y'all ain't with him, now's the time y'all better watch out for old Joe. Because Joe is going to be, matter of fact, Joe, let me give you some advice. Free pro bono advice from me to you. I want you to wake up tomorrow morning, Joe, and I want you to pardon Hunter Biden. If you ain't running no more, I don't look. I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what I would do. Joe, when you wake up in the morning, go on national TV again and say, look, I forgot something. Last night when I was talking to y'all, I forgot to tell y'all I'm pardoning Hunter so me and him can go fishing. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, Lady Elegant said he up there right now. Look, Lady Elegant say I was saying the same thing. I'd be petty. Absolutely. Big Rod, what's going on? He's talking about good evening from Pennsylvania. James Key, what's going on? Yes, I would. If I was Biden, I'd do all kinds of foolishness. I would act just like Donald Trump said he's going to act. Matter of fact, y'all wouldn't like me if I was Joe Biden right now. I just do super petty stuff. I'd be like, look, I'm letting all prisoners free. Y'all don't like me? I'm pardoning them all. Everybody federal, you're free. Excuse me. That's what I was saying. I let all the prisoners out and then let y'all deal with them. You didn't like me when I was in office. You told me don't run again. So I'm gonna let all your family members out. That right there. But y'all don't know. Joe probably ain't gonna do that. But if he do, don't be surprised. Because I would. All right. Then I think since the last time we was here, Donald Trump pretended like he got shot in the ear. I don't understand the people. Now, either that was the worst foolishness ever. I can't process it. Anyway, we're not gonna waste all night on the fact that y'all turned on Joe. Matter of fact, let me go and ask this question. What are y'all thinking about Kamala? I think her name is Kamala. And how y'all pronounce her name? Somebody spell it out phonetically for me so I make sure I get her name right. But what do y'all think about him endorsing her? And how is that? Shouldn't we have had the option to pick somebody else? I don't want none of y'all saying I'm not fair because Kamala is a woman or this and that. I didn't really like Kamala last time. I didn't really care. Kamala. Okay. Tell them the kids, they just be spelling out stuff. Anyway, so yeah, see, Cassandra said, I don't know if I like the way Kamala. I don't know how. Look, y'all can stop with the phonetics. I think James might have had it, but I don't know. I don't know how. Cassandra got a little too technical with hers. That wouldn't have helped me right there. But what y'all think about her? I just want to know. I'm a little uncertain. I'm on the fence with her because if I didn't like somebody, and this is how I live my life, so I'm not just picking on Kamala. But if I don't like you on Monday, I probably am not gonna like you on Friday either. That's just how I live. And so if I already wasn't feeling her before, I'm not really one of them take one for the team type dudes if I ain't think you ought to be on the team in the first place. So my question to y'all, my good people, is somebody tell me, what do you all think about Kamala? Are y'all gonna give her y'all support? And I know what y'all saying. Y'all saying, well, the only other choice is old Donald Trump. And that's a bad choice. It is a technically bad choice. Matter of fact, let me say this. I'm going to reserve whether or not I determine what happens with my voting rights until I see who she going to have for her running mate. Makes a difference. Did Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Preacher say it's like saying coma la? Coma? Come on, girl. That's from Alabama. That is not how that girl, she do not pronounce her name like no coma. Kamala. See? That right there. That tells you we need somebody in the office that we can say their name. But anyway, y'all know what I think she ought to do. I know the perfect running mate for Kamala Harris. Would y'all like to know? I'm going to tell you. The perfect running mate for Kamala Harris is Joe Biden. What would that be, people? Do y'all know how funny it would be if she say, I want to have Joe Biden as my running mate? And he could. They just switching positions on the ticket. That might make me want to vote for him. Put Joe at the bottom of the ticket. They switch offices. They switch houses. She get to go stay at the West Wing, the White House, wherever he be sleeping at. James, he can run. He can run. Nothing prevents him because he hasn't done a second term. So, yeah, I think she ought to put him on the ticket. That was just wishful thinking. Because right now he's telling y'all why he ain't messing with y'all no more. And he's probably saying, look, I believe that I could have still done a good service to the country. But it was clear that you people turned on me. So I'm sleepy. Sleepy Biden. But anyway. So tonight's topic, the thing that y'all came up here for tonight, y'all couldn't wait to get involved in the conversation, is toxic people, toxic results. And I'm certain that we're going to have some different perspectives based on, you said once you hold president, you can't hold a lower office. Yes, you can. You can hold the office of the president and you can go and be a congressman, a senator. Yes, you can. You're not limited on being able to hold the a different office. But nonetheless, let me ask y'all a question. When you start talking about toxic people and toxic results, this came to me because somebody sent me a letter, and in the letter, they were complaining about their significant other. And some of the things they said, I was like, wow, it's very strange. But I began to wonder, and matter of fact, let me throw this out there first. When it comes to relationships, who do you all believe is more toxic? Is it women or men, or is it even? I'll wait a few seconds for y'all to reply. I just want to know what the people feel like. Is it more women or men, or is it equal in the level of toxicness, generally speaking, in relationships? When there is some toxicness, that's not to assume that it always is. And I'm really curious, because one of the things that this person was saying was the type of toxic behavior forced them, and she was talking about her man. She said it forced her to feel a certain kind of way about relationships in general. And I was like, wow. And so I hit her back and I was like, well, can you give me some examples? And she was saying that she couldn't trust him. She said that he kept promising her he was going to get his act together. And she listed some other things, and I'm not going to go into those things yet, but let's take those first couple of ones. Now, if you are in a relationship with somebody, and again, it's gender-based, and if you start off in a relationship with someone telling you, I'm going to get myself together, and in this case, she was talking about financially, employment-wise. And she was explaining that the relationship became more and more toxic the longer they were in it, because she began to feel some kind of way because he wasn't able to meet her anywhere fiscally. And so she said it began to make her despise him. I was like, wow. So you're despising the fellow now. And so I began to ponder, if the individual did not have gainful employment when you met them. So I'm trying to stay away from the words that would assign it to a male or female. But if the person did not have gainful employment when you met them, and you said they told you that they were going to get themselves together, or they was getting themselves, can you really say that that was toxic behavior that drove you to acting negative or aggressive? Did you really have a right to expect them to get a job or what? You should have waited until they got a job. If a job was that important, that it was going to make you have an emotional falling out with that person, because they are the same person today that they were when you met them. They just haven't achieved the goal yet. Now, I can see if you said it was working when you met them and then they fell off and decided that they wasn't going to go get a job, they wasn't going to do anything. That's one thing. But if the individual did not have a job when you met them and you were so enamored with them, you just had to have them, they had to be your boo. And then all of a sudden, after the newness is worn off, you in your feelings because them bills is stacking up and he or she can't help you with them, then the question is, are you right or wrong for saying that that individual had toxic energy? They had the same energy they had when they started with you. What say you, the public? Is this individual right or wrong for feeling in some kind of way about a person who doesn't have employment and can't help with the bills, and now every time they go out, she got to pay for this or he got to pay for this? See, I'm going to make sure I be balanced so that I don't have to deal with y'all in the hate mail. But does she have a right to feel some kind of way about him not having employment if when you met this individual, they didn't have employment? You was betting on a bad horse from the start. But it didn't matter to you initially because that's what you wanted. And that goes back to some, not all, of you women who love to find you somebody that could be up under your wing all day long. You love that type. He's showing you all the attention you ever wanted. You come in the house, he got your favorite song playing. House smelling like weed and potpourri. And he right there with a little glisten in his eye, telling you stupid stuff like, come here, let me rub your feet. But you mad now because the newness of that done worn off. You tired of your living room smelling like weed, and them bills is it ain't even that the bills are stacking up other than your food bill, but do you really have a right to be mad if he is the same person now that he was when you met him? Ladies, don't y'all go getting quiet tonight because y'all normally got something to say. I don't understand it. Church mice, crickets. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not with that. And see, I think that when it comes to toxic behavior, I don't personally think that toxic behavior is gender-based, because I believe that there are toxic men, toxic women, toxic situations. But I also have a sneaky suspicion that, generally speaking, people put themselves in those situations. You know, and I know how y'all, Tyson, I'm feeling confused. I didn't know that not having a job was considered toxic behavior. Well, I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying the person that sent that described her environment as being toxic, and she feels some kind of way because the individual that she happens to be in a relationship with, who when she first started kicking it with him, told her, hey, I'm in the process of getting my life together. Whoop-de-wop, I'm going to get me a job. We're going to do big things and this, and that. And it has not materialized. And it's been months and months and months. And so now some of the newness of the relationship is worn off. And she getting tired of him sitting at the house smoking weed and playing video games and waiting for her to get home. Now she don't care if her feet get rubbed. She wanted him to rub some of those coins, and not the coins on her feet, the coins that help pay some bills. So I don't know that simply not having a job is toxic, because obviously there are people that do not work that still have an income. There are people who do not work that still bring something of equal value to the relationship. So I'm just stating what's up with this particular person. And so I want y'all to understand that. First, let's be clear. Ty said, let me show what Ty been saying. I don't want y'all to think I'm making this up. That was her first comment. Second was, she don't need to be upset. She just needs to bounce. Okay. She needs to bounce. Hey, is it fair for her to bounce if he's doing what he said? You just mad now. And because equally, you have men, like, I can't speak from a woman's perspective other than me being able to talk about what I have seen over these last nearly 20 years of being a counselor. I've heard it all. And if I haven't heard it all, I've heard almost all of it. And what I am curious about is men and women handle toxic energy differently. A woman might be more receptive to a longer veil of time to give an individual an opportunity to get his stuff together. But a man, and ladies, let me say this, because I want you all to get I don't want y'all to get no negative energy from me, but I want to be able to talk to y'all and give y'all some real perspectives. Uh-oh, there go JC. JC's in the house tonight. And so when you talk about toxic energy, again, it's not gender-based, but people tend to handle it differently. And some of you don't know you have toxic energy. You think the regular you is okay. I hear women, and for y'all that just came on, we already talked about a situation. Hold on, let me see what Ty said. If she is feeling like the environment is toxic, i.e. emotionally and psychologically unhealthy. Well, I don't disagree, but the dude is doing the same thing he was doing when you met him. You're emotional about it. It's psychologically unhealthy to you because you changed. He the same dude. And that goes to one of the points that I was going to make, is it that women are too emotionally fragile, and maybe y'all need to look in different perspectives, because this dude, although I would call him trifling, I'm not in support of a dude not working, but you were in support of the dude not working. Let me see what Ty said. Just because you were dumb enough to accept something that wasn't going to work for you and cross your own personal boundaries doesn't mean you need to sit in that place. Hold on. What boundaries was crossed? These are the same boundaries that was there when she wanted him. Matter of fact, one could say that she used this lazy dude. One could say that she knew he wasn't working, but he was giving her the attention that she so craved. And then at some point, the attention didn't matter because something superseded the attention, meaning financially or otherwise. Let me see what JC said. JC said that's because we live with blinders on and can't see beyond our own world. Absolutely. And that's the reason why sometimes when women, some, not all, get with a real dude, it is very difficult for some of them to manage to be in a relationship with him, because a real man there's going to come a point when he is going to say, I'm not about foolishness. Big Rod said women will spend time in trying to change a man until she gives up. A man will string a woman along and use her up and could care less about her feelings. Big Rod, why would you say that? Now, I disagree with Big Rod on that. Now, I'm not saying that there are no dudes out there like that, but I need to come back to a point. Hey, Esther Shepherd, what's going on with my armor bearer? I need you to understand something, Big Rod. While that is possible, to say that a person is simply stringing somebody along and use her up, what is he using her for? In this case, this lady knew he didn't have a job when she got with him. That's first and foremost. Was no lie there. He was unemployed when she met him. He told her, at some point, I'm going to get myself together. She wanted him there all day. Everything was cute at first. That's not stringing somebody along. It's stringing somebody along if you pretend as if you're something that you're not. Oh, Big Rod said he talking about in general. Well, Big Rod, we're going to have to take and say, we're going to have to take and reverse that and remove the phrase that a woman will spend time trying to change a man. I believe that. But we can't just say a man will string a woman along, because there's women who string men along, promising that they're going to be something that they ain't. The challenge is when anybody, Ty said, hey, the blinders are off now. Just move on and chalk it up as a lesson learned. I don't care about them moving on. Let me be honest with you. I care about the fact that she's saying he's toxic when it's her feelings that are toxic. April said, if you're willing to accept a partner that's not working, contributing, and beneficial to the relationship, you're the toxic person because you're looking for a person to control. Don't get mad once you realize they're trifling and you still can't control them. Well, I will be John Brown in the morning. April said that some women, not all, got control issues, and you love as long as you can manipulate and manage that dude, but it starts to feel toxic when you can't change or control them. Now that's deep right there. April been gone for a while, but she came back strong. JC said you also have to consider age. The BS you put up with at 20 ain't flying at 40. Ty said April G. Brown, exactly. Move on. See, Ty, you keep talking about the move on thing. Hold on, let me see. Big Rod said, but in this situation, why didn't she get with some that didn't have anything going for themselves? Absolutely, Big Rod, because he was providing something to her emotionally. That's what you get when you start hanging out in your feelingville all day long. Y'all like the way I just made up that phrase, feelingville. A lot of times women, some men hang out in feelingville. Everything in your life is about your feelings. And then when somebody can't meet what you see in your feelings, then you started talking about they're not what they proclaim. That dude was exactly what he proclaimed. He was unemployed. And that's why it's difficult for some when you start dealing with a real person, male or female. Women start dealing with a real dude. Real dudes don't play around with that foolishness because they like, look, I have a trajectory that I'm on, whether it's spiritually, mentally, professionally, and I don't have all day to be talking with you about you tripping on some tomfoolery. Now, let me be honest with you all about something. The other side of this is sometimes you, be it male or female, overinflate your value. How do you determine what your value is? I'll wait. Can anybody tell me a good way to determine what your value is? Because clearly Some people think their value is greater than what it is, and it may cause them to act toxic. Anyone? And let me, while y'all thinking and scared to type, let me go ahead and tell y'all. When I say you overinflate your value, your value is not what you see in your head. Uh-oh. My homegirl JC said that's subjective. Well, partially, yes. But I can tell you a clear way to determine it. Your value is determined by what someone else will accept or pay for you. That's it. So what you see in your mind is not your value. Not to the public. And I'm not judging one way or another. It's like this little magic marker. How much do you all think this magic marker is worth? Anyone? Somebody give me a figure on this black Sharpie magic marker. How much do y'all think it's worth? Ain't nobody gonna give me no figures. All right. Let me tell you how much it's worth. Hold on. April done said something. April said your value starts with what you can contribute without assistance and building toward a greater cause. I don't know where you got that I have a dream speech from right there, but no. Well, that's what. Let me rewind. That could be it. But this marker right here, the value of this marker is based on what somebody is willing to pay for it. Now, some of y'all might say, oh, that magic mark is worth $2 or less. No. Now, if all somebody is willing to pay for it is $2, then the value of it is $2. But if I can find somebody willing to give me $20 for it, then the value of this marker becomes $20. Big Rod said, let's be real. There are people that let sex determine how they feel about someone and then got disappointed when things don't go their way. Uh-oh. Big Rod done jumped all the way in the deep end of the pool. We hadn't even made it on that side of the track yet, but we're going to come back to it. But I want y'all to remember that the value of something is determined by what somebody else is willing to pay for it. Your personal value is what is somebody willing to either put up with that you will dish out or what they are willing to pay for to be with you. It ain't what you hear in your head. And far too often, there is an inflated value that people have because so many times, let's just use women as an example, there are so many men out there who act thirsty that if she's cute, he will do whatever, put up with whatever, say whatever. Uh-oh. Sunshine, it's not for someone else to decide your value, but your thoughts, emotions, and most importantly, your actions that determine how others perceive your value. Absolutely. JC said, once again, we see things through our own lens. We love how we want to be loved, not how the other person wants to be loved. I think she was trying to say love. Well, part of that is true. See, we're emotionally greedy. And that's a dangerous thing. If you have an overinflated sense of your value and we're emotionally greedy, at first the lady was fine with the dude just chilling. He was out looking for a job, whatever. But it changed. Now, whether it changed, because like Big Rod said, the intimacy had gotten old and now she started seeing things clearly, whether it was because the bills got too hard or heavy. But when you are emotionally driven by your feelings instead of logic, you start believing that you're entitled to more than what you are entitled to. But you can get whatever you can get. The question is, are you repeating cycles? I'm just asking. Big Rod said, you're right. Your value is what someone else is willing to deal with. Some people don't see the value in a classic car, but there are others that like to drive old vehicles. Absolutely. JC said change ain't a bad thing. Ty said if ours is based on what someone else's opinion is of us, then do we not have value until someone else says we do? In other words, are we trash until someone else decides we are treasure? Well, Ty, to be honest with you, you can be the highest level of value in your own mind, in your own space. But when we talk about what your value is to somebody else, which is what happens when you decide you want to be in a relationship, as long as you by yourself, you can say your value is all of everything. But that changes the moment that you are trying to have someone else in your life. Another question is, when somebody good comes in your life, are you, whomever, male or female, are you even ready and capable of dealing with that type of individual? See, because let's be honest, everybody is always working towards something. I'm working to be better at my job. I'm working to be better spiritually. I'm working to be better in relationships. We all working on something. But the question is, are you capable? Are you so toxic, since that's our phrase of the night? Are you so toxic that you're incapable of dealing with another good human being because all you see is what you used to see? Again, this ain't gender-based. Now, from a male perspective, I'll say there's a whole lot of women that swear up and down that they want a good man and they can tell God what a good man is until he sent them to them. And then some months into it, then as Big Rod said, they're trying to, now they want to flip the script. A person, and sometimes we say this. Sometimes we say, oh, you changed. I done heard men say it to women. I done heard women say it to men. I done heard them say it about each other when the other one wasn't in counseling. Oh, you changed. So the first question as a counselor I asked them is, why would a person change on you? What occurred in the relationship to make a person change the way that they deal with you? And when you ask that type of question, some of y'all gonna get in your feelings. Some of you gonna say, he wasn't ever or she wasn't ever about me in the first place. And then y'all will go to the little thing, they was using me. Because it's easier to say that somebody deceived you about the relationship than to answer the tough questions of, are you acting like the same person you was acting like when y'all first met? This woman talking about this dude, hold on. Ty said, I don't know how I feel about that explanation. People have a low opinion of themselves or devalue themselves, tend to pick people that treat them that way because they feel that they are not worthy or valuable enough to get better, so to speak. That's a opinion. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that people be shooting for the stars all the time. And sometimes you ain't ready for the stars. Sometimes you need to shoot for the stars and just get to the top of the tree. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just keeping it a stat. Some of y'all not ready for real. Because for being with somebody, male or female, who is a real person, means you got to step your game up. if you started off and I'm talking to fellas, let me start off talking about fellas. Fellas, if you started off and you was in the streets every day, you was saying the right things, doing the right things, whatever. If she is still acting like she did from the start and you switch up, why did you switch up? Or were you in fact doing what they're accusing men of today, which is plotting and planning? And now in the reverse, women, if you was do it right, say it right, act right, you had all the right energy when you first met them, and all of a sudden some things is occurring and now you ain't that chick no more. Now you got negative energy about everything. Now everything it starts in the negative context. You don't do this. Why don't you do that? I'm this, I'm that. Maybe a person ain't acting the way they started off with because you ain't acting like you started off with. Old people say start off how you can hold out. But there are times when things occur in people's lives and they do not, and because of whatever that thing is, they act different. So we've got to consider that before we say a man that starts acting different is just acting different because he was using somebody. Because once again, that goes to this overinflation of whatever y'all think your value is. Because what is it that a man is alleged to be using y'all for? Y'all tripping. I need to know what it is, because to say, matter of fact, let me ask the question. Is it more likely that a man could use a woman or a woman could use a man? Or is it equal? James said let me put it up here. James said most times those that say you've changed is because they didn't. Cassandra said it's equal. Men and women use each other about the same. Big Rod says some people gravitate to what they're used to. Then when you get around others that help you improve yourself, then have an understanding of what you don't want. That's a good point, Big Rod. JC said, are they acting differently or is the real you showing up? Ty said maid service, food service, and sex. That's what you think a man is using a woman for. Maid service, food service, and sex. All right. Big Rod said he would say equal. I'm going back to what Taya said. Taya said that she believes that men are using women for maid service, food service, and sex. All right, so let me start with this basic fundamental concept then. Miss Matthews, do you believe women today are cooking that much? April said men use women for stability, food, shelter. Women use men for financial purposes. What in the Sam? Ty said, and something money. Hold on. Y'all are saying that men are out here using women because they cooking and cleaning and they good in the bed. And April went so far as to say for food and shelter. Hold on, people. I talk to a lot of dudes, and I'm not hearing a bunch of dudes talking about how much these women is out here cooking, excuse me. Yeah. I ain't hearing that. And y'all around here saying that these dudes is out here using non-cooking women for their cooking. I ain't buying it. Now, there are some women who do very well in keeping things clean and tidy, but there's a lot of women out here ain't cleaning neither. Now, What's the stability? April, you put stability. Hold on, let me put what April said back up here. April said men use women for stability, food, and shelter. What's stability? Is it stability if a man is with a woman and she is constantly finding reasons to say what he ain't? What kind of stability are you talking about, April? Ty said, you asked what men, I'm assuming you meant in general, so I gave you yeah, but if you're going to give me an in general answer, I needed to make it make sense. I don't know no men that's out here talking about, oh, I found me a woman because she's so good at cooking and cleaning. Most women ain't doing all of that. Matter of fact, if that's the case, if a woman was doing all that, it'd be hard pressed. I ain't saying impossible, because it is some trifling dudes out here. Let me be the first to say that. But I don't know that there ain't a lot of women out here doing relationship sabotage. Hold on. Did Tanya say something about a sugar mama? Lord have mercy on my soul. So you saying, Taya, that you believe these dudes out here looking for a sugar mama? Ladies, I'm not rocking with that. I'm not saying that it ain't some, but if you out here tricking off, I don't know what you expect, because a real man can't even stand the energy of a woman having to do something for him, because it's in our DNA to be leaders, to be providers, to be protectors. So ain't nobody, I ain't feeling what you're talking about on that. Not saying that it ain't none. Oh, Ty talking about, yeah, a lot of the young ones are. Well, that's what you get for being out there chasing a cougar. But you wasn't chasing that young boy because you was looking for somebody that was mature and had their stuff together. You was looking for somebody that was young with a strong back. That's on you, because that's what you got. He didn't switch the game up on you. When you got out the bed, that wasn't enough for you. You could have found the old dude that could have gave you what you wanted in the sack. You just didn't want to deal with a mature dude, because a mature man is not coming with all that foolishness. Yeah, them young dudes don't mind you traipsing up and down the street. Why? Because you the one spending your money. Man, please. You ain't gonna go find no six-figure dude that's out there playing them foolish games with you. April said, now personally, here, this is my confession. April said, now personally, I rarely cook. My husband does the majority of it, but these hobosexuals are looking for housing, stability, and consistent food. But these traits apply to people not qualified to be in relationships in the first place. But April, that's the one many women are going out here getting, because you're not complaining about, you know what? You want me to tell you what y'all say about a real dude? Let me tell y'all what y'all say about a real man. Many women don't want to be with a real man because it starts off with the fact that he doesn't need you for something in order to exist in life. That man wants to be with you. He doesn't need to be with you. So you can't get by with being the bare minimum of a person. A real man can cook because somebody taught him how to cook. He earns a living. He pays his own bills. So he doesn't need you for those things. And ladies, let me say this for the purpose of this show. And I want y'all to come a little closer. Let me get April up off this screen. Come a little closer to the screen. Come on, people. I want to whisper this to you. You're a fool if you believe that a man is after you just for sex. Because you can look on this show, you can look in your DM and see it's women everywhere willing to have sex. A man is not chasing around sex. Most real men want somebody with some common sense that can be respectful enough, be submissive enough, be a team player that he can count on. He ain't trying to hear all that every day got to be a problem. And so when you sitting out here and you think somebody is using you for your intimacy, let me say this. Most, I'm not saying all, because I don't know what everybody do, but the majority of you are not putting in that kind of work in the bed anyway. So he would not be stalking you around the country because you're the last and most greatest person in the sack. He's looking for somebody that while he's out here trying to build the empire, that he can trust that person with the empire. Get up out of my face with this foolishness. So I said, it means if many women are going out here to getting these types of dudes that April was talking about, that means there are many of these dudes that are the type of dudes contrary to what you just said. No, I don't. No, I don't. What it means, Taya, is if you got a seasoned or older woman out here flirting with these young dudes ain't got nothing, they ain't built nothing. So you out there with somebody that you hoping he could be what that old dude was. But that old dude is not putting up with the tomfoolery. Just like a seasoned woman who knows where she is not nagging. Why you think your grandmamas could stay married for 30 and 40 years? You know why? Because she wasn't around here nagging and acting a fool. She understood that he had a mission that was greater than the inside of that house, that he had to get out here and get them streets and get to work to be a good provider. JC said round 2 next week. Man, y'all done talked me past 9 o'clock. Man, I got to get up off here with y'all. But yeah, we're going to continue this next week. Y'all remind me. So we don't take no new topics. We want to break this down because y'all done lost y'all mind. And I'm not going to let y'all reduce men down to, oh, y'all so good in the bed that we tracking y'all around. Man, if you don't get out of my face with that foolishness, ain't nobody stalking no woman to be in the bed. And I'm sick and tired of hearing women say that about men like that's all that we are. But every time you get with a real dude who is about some sustenance and some substance, you ain't got time. You got to say, oh, he ain't the right type. He ain't the right type for you because you ain't built for no realness. You rather get out here and talk about X, Y, Z. Matter of fact, get off my show.
It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It's on.
Running with your friends, come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is time. Sinclair's on the mic.